Hello and welcome to Game and Gain. My name is Muzz and we're back with another final word. That's 2 in 2 weeks, which is something that I don't think I've ever done. Now, final words are where I just give my final impression on a game, and the reason that it's 2 in 2 weeks is because I made sort of a New Year's resolution with myself. Now, I don't like to do New Year's resolutions, but I thought that it was important for me to try and finish some games. In 2020, I started a lot of games, but did not finish a lot of them. And Ghost of Tsushima is just one of those examples, which after playing it all the way through to completion, not 100%, just the story, I did do quite a number of the side activities, which I'll get to. I should have played it from start to finish when I got it. It is an incredible game, and I'm going to take you through why I thought it was a fantastic game. Starting off with the story. The story is good. It is a classic tale of zero to hero. The journey is well balanced. It has hard parts, but the difficulty starts to kind of ramp up a wee bit, but at the same time you're becoming an absolute badass samurai ghost, and it keeps you invested in the characters due to the circumstances of the story. The circumstances are that the Mongol Empire has invaded this island and are trying to take it over, so immediately you're like defending your home, you're trying to save people you know, your friends, your family, and it pulled me all the way through right to the end.
Today, I die for my people. There must be thousands of them. We will face death and defend our home. Tradition, courage, honor. They are what make us. We are the warriors of Tsushima. We are samurai!
Jin is the main character. He is a good protagonist. He's not up there with the best, but he's a good protagonist, and as the story goes on you can see a sort of swing, a character arc if you like. One of my favourite aspects of the story was how he was pulled between being an honourable samurai who kind of takes on challenges head on, doesn't back down from a fight, to the ghost who is more in the shadows, more like a ninja, I guess, takes people out from behind, uses all sorts of tricks to deceive his enemies and take advantage of his enemies. So I loved that aspect of it. I do wish, however, they went in more on it and allowed you to actually kind of choose one path or the other, and that would really affect the story. It kind of does actually in one of the towards the end, the enemies get their hands on one of the ghost weapons and they use it against you, which I thought was very good. But I maybe would have liked the decision there where you could have went with the ghost weapon or the samurai way. In my head I had the samurai way, you're full on frontal assault, you're taking guys out, you defeat whoever you need to defeat, and then you look behind you and you see the destruction, the death of your own people because you were honourable, or you're trying to be honourable, you were trying to follow tradition. And then the ghost would be the same way, where you use a weapon to stop your casualties, increase the enemy's casualties, but it's dishonourable and it doesn't play well in the favour of people within the hierarchy of the samurai. But in the end, the story wraps up very nicely, and I understand actually why they didn't give the player much agency in Jin's story, because it's Jin's story, it's not our created character stories, and I believe that they have done a very good job with the narrative of the game. The side quests are also another aspect of the kind of narrative that I enjoyed. Well, it does have, like the same kind of side quests you find in any open world games, bandit camps, yada yada yada. But the more fleshed out multi-part side quests are exciting. A lot of them are about revenge, but tackling it from different angles, avenging someone's family, trying to figure out why a student has joined the enemy. They provide some great stories to go along with the main story, and it allows the world to feel much bigger and show that even in war, the enemy is not always the side on the opposite side from you. Mythic quests are my favourite side quests. They add a lot to the game, not only giving you some of the most powerful weapons, armour and abilities once you've completed them, but they also dive into the supernatural elements of Tsushima age and culture. The mythic quests allow developers to create some interesting and creative scenarios, and they are some of the most exciting quests in the game, with some of the most spectacular set pieces the game has to offer. Combat is probably my favourite aspect of the game. Having completed the game, I never got tired of it. The combat starts off basic with a light and heavy parry, block and dodge, and while it sounds limited, they gradually build up, giving you different stances to deal with different enemies, which when you've got multiple enemy types, it can be quite difficult to change between them when you've got one attacking you and then another one. It is challenging from the start. The enemies pack a real punch. It takes a couple of hits to actually take you out, but the game introduces new enemy variants to keep things fresh, and as I say, by the end I was still loving the combat. The one-on-one duels provide a different challenge to the normal enemy encounters. Camera comes close and is more over the shoulder, which provides a more intimate and intense battle of two warriors at the top of their game going at it in some spectacular locations as well. Unbelievable some of the duels that you fight in, and the most beautiful backdrop for something that is so deadly.
Monk. No.
The graphics of Ghost of Tsushima are one of the most beautiful games, if not the most beautiful games I have ever seen. The draw distance, the scenery, the colours, particle effects and game engine contribute to an amazing visual experience. I'm astonished even by places I have seen many times before. It is a beautiful, beautiful game, and some of the set piece moments are incredible, making you feel like you're taking part in a full-blown war, but also some of the more interesting battles take place in some of the best locations that the game has to offer. This is one of the games that has lived up to the hype in terms of graphics. Often at E3 when it was shown off, people were going, can that run the PlayStation 4? Will it run the PlayStation 4? But it is gorgeous, and The Last of Us may have more detailed environments, but to me there isn't one that matches the beauty of the landscape that the Ghost of Tsushima offers. It is incredible. Overall, I don't think Ghost of Tsushima is a masterpiece. The story is pretty standard without any real surprises. It follows a lot of tropes of the open world RPG, and the NPCs and towns are a little basic and lack life. Well, I don't think it's a masterpiece. It comes pretty damn close to being one. The combat is engaging and challenging throughout. The graphics of the game are unbelievable and really draw you into the world. While the story is standard, it does make you want to see the game through to the end, and Jim becomes a very likeable hero by the end. If Sucker Punch can fix some of the issues and fine tune the gameplay, then I predict that the second game will be one of the best open world RPGs on the next gen systems, if it gets released. So that is my thoughts on Ghost of Tsushima. I wish I'd played it at the start, or when it came out back in June, July, the summer anyway, of 2020. But the main thing is I've finished it now, and I'm so happy I did, because it will live long in the memory as a very enjoyable open world RPG. Often with these types of games, the combat just lets you down, while the writing is pretty good in a lot of these games. But for me, the writing was good, but the combat is just so good. I can't express just the combos don't really get that interesting, and you repeat a lot of them the same way. But it's just the sound, the animation of the enemy. I don't know. It's just so satisfying to win a battle, and some of them, as I say, are pretty hard to win. But that is my thoughts. As I say, kind of went on a wee bit there. If you liked the video, you know, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Let me know what you think. Is Ghost of Tsushima as good as I say it is, or do you think it was a little bit below your expectations, my expectations? Leave a comment, and any thoughts, comments, general hostile remarks, leave them below. Thank you very much. Bye bye.